Welcome, football stalkers. It's your boy, the master tactician fan, Koza Ivan. I am joined by Koks and I am joined by Tlhologelo to give their thoughts on the Sundowns and Pirates game. Thoughts, please, guys. How was the game? I'll tell you guys about.
All right. For me, it was okay. It wasn't a great game, especially the second half. The second half, really, we weren't. Koketso said we were spectators for the second half. It felt like we were playing at Orlando with their fans filling up the stadium. We didn't show up for the second half. I felt like Pizza was too defensive as well. We didn't really attack. That space between the wingers, it made me very uncomfortable as well. We left too many spaces in between. We lost the ball too much. But otherwise, I don't have too. I feel like I criticize a lot, but not too bad. We'll take the 1 point.
What positive would you have in this game? If you don't want it to seem like you're criticizing too much, so what positive are you going to take out of this game?
Positives for the game. I think Mabu is my positive for the game. I was very critical about Mabui being a right back because I feel like Mabui gets unnecessary favoritism. Mm-hmm. But I'm impressed with Mabui. He reminded me of that game we played against Highlands Park before lockdown, where he went in deep a little bit and he was very good in that position. So Mabui right back, I'm impressed. I thought he was going to leak a lot, but it's also because Pirates didn't really press. But my positive, Mabui, I'm impressed with the boy.
Koks, how was the game for you?
I'll start with the positive. My positive for this game is that we got a point. Mm-hmm. That's the only positive that I'm seeing from this game, because if we're being honest, we should have lost this match. I don't know what happened. First half, tactically, Zimbabwe had it spot on. It was 3 versus 2 in terms of 3 coaches, 3 masterminds versus 2. And I thought we'd have the Rulani factor, but the man had it spot on. Now you can see the win against us in the first round was not a fluke. This man really studied us and he knew exactly what was happening. So when we started, if you could see, it was like Pirate was sitting back and they were just allowing us to play, but we were doing nothing with the ball. So they were like, here you go, play, let's see what you can do. And they had their ace up their sleeve in terms of Memel. So as soon as second half, I don't know what happened. We tried to make changes, didn't take effect. But every change, Pirate, you could see it was very strategic. When they put in Memela, it changed. The complexion of the game changed. He allowed, if you check, Ule was wide first half. He played him wide. But as soon as Memela jumped in, Ule had the free roll. He could do it as he pleases. For me, man of the match is Fortune Makaring. I'm not even going to lie about it. The man, second half, he was just bossing the middle field, which then allowed Ben Motswari as well to play. It's no fluke that Ben is the man of the match, But I would have preferred to give it to Fortune Makaring.
Let me touch base on let's say the initial tactics. Zimbabwe, based on the Orlando game and the way we normally play, he anticipated us to attack, and I think what happened is we as Sundowns should have went with what Zimbabwe was expecting, and with us, because when I looked at the lineup initially, I thought that Madisha was going to play on the right, and Lebosa was going to partner up with Nascimento, and Lake was going to play as a left back. And that way you have that structure where Lake is going to bomb forward a lot, and Madisha is going to be there to almost nullify Mahango, who likes to play on the left. So now, if we look at the team and you're like, oh, okay, so it's actually Mabua who's defending, and you've got Lebosa who's also playing on the left. And as the game progresses, you almost got the sense that we had the most of the ball, but yet we were defending. We weren't necessarily expensive in the way we played, which then I saw in the first water break. have you noticed that Zimbabwe was speaking a lot with Mayela? And as soon as the game got back, Mayela started attacking Mabua. He started bombing forward, which then he realized, like, okay, so they also defending. So let's go at these guys.
I think my issue, because Koks mentioned substitutions by Bizone. I want to touch on that first. I don't even see the purpose of majority of those subs. The one sub that I was really for is Libusa for Langeman, because Libusa wasn't really pressing, and Langeman does that very well, right? But I mean, he swapped Makhalwa for Meza. You're swapping the same thing for the same thing. You're not really going to make a difference there, you know. He wanted to swap before Madisha got injured. He wanted to swap Mkulisi for who's this? Son of Major One.
No, he was actually, from what we saw, it was almost like Kakana for Mabunda, which I also surprised me. Tlholo?
Yeah, so I feel like they didn't really make a difference. You are swapping one person for the same person just with fresher legs, which doesn't really make a difference. I felt like Villa needed to come in much earlier, right, to close in that gap, because we had a really big gap. But our substitutions didn't
affect the game.
Make a difference, because he was swapping same for same.
Oh, do we even have men of the? I know, Koks, your man of the match is Makaringe. Tlholo, do you have a man of the match in this game?
I think for me, it would have gone. I would have preferred Bule, right? Because I feel like Makaringe stood out more in the second half, right? Then when they were attacking, that's when Makaringe started to really stand out. But in the first half, if I feel like there's a player who is consistent throughout, it has to go to Vincent Wheeler, because like you said, first half he was playing wide. He was the only Pirates player that gave us a problem. He was the only Pirates player who had shots in the first half. And even in the second half, when he was playing a free role, he still gave us a problem. So for me, I'd go for Vincent Wheeler.
So now, if we let's look at let's say as the game progressed, I think I was bothered by how, like I was telling you earlier, Tlholo, that I expected an exciting game. I actually expected a high-scoring game, based on what we saw on Saturday, and for it to end the way it did as a 0-0. I mean, even the post-match comments from Coach Pito, it seems to suggest that he wasn't really coming into this game desperate for a win. But one thing that I wasn't quite sure about the comments he made on Saturday, when he said that he subbed Vela and Zwane, he was essentially resting them for this game, and yet Vela was on the bench. He wasn't in the squad. So I don't know. Was that mind games, or did training change his mind in putting in Keleto in rather than Vela?
I think putting Keleto in was more of a element of surprise. That's what he was going for. It's more or less the same thing as Pirates putting Memela on the bench. So it was that element of surprise, because we were expecting it. Like, we expecting Keleto to come in last 15. He reads the game. There's nobody that reads the game better than him. He's got pace. He finds them tired. He runs at them. He gets one chance. He buries it. So that was always going to be it. But him putting in, he took a gamble, and it didn't pay off, man. But today we were very fortunate, man. We were watching Pirates. Second half, we were watching Pirates play. Like, I really don't understand what it is that he was comfortable with, in a sense that he was like, okay, fine. If I get a draw here, I'm fine. Because I know he's not a very emotional human being. Pito doesn't like being emotional. He can read the game and he can see, okay, here I'm going to lose, and if I lose, then then that's it. The league is over. But now, at least, the league is kind of gone, but you still have the game against Chiefs, and you still have it in your hands type vibe. But goal difference was always going to be a factor in that. So I think, I'm really disappointed in how we played, and I'm really, I'm so emotional about it, man. Like, Sundowns, they didn't do what I expected them to do. Like, but I understand, and I'm happy we got a draw. Like I said earlier on, I'm happy.
So, if like let's say we understand with COVID things are a little bit different now. With this is all new, and everybody's trying to adjust to this in how to come out of this victorious and stuff. But if we look at, let's say, before COVID or without any COVID, generally at this stage of the competition, Coach Pito is not really one to change formations or to try new things or play a trick or so. He sticks to his lineup. He plays, wins the game. Doesn't have to be beautiful. That's it. And it doesn't seem to be the case now. Now I understand COVID, there was a break, but is that maybe coach maybe should have went with that kind of approach to say, you know what? Let me play with my experienced lineup like I always do, the core team that I used to play with, and then have the subs like he typically had with the Keleto and them, and then not necessarily hold back a player and be like, oh, maybe this will be my trump card or anything. Because then you, in an event, playing almost like a risk game where if things doesn't work out. Whereas if you stick with what you know, who knows what's going to happen. But like, look, Coach Pito is experienced at this. And like he said with Kaizer Chiefs, he doesn't have to win against Kaizer Chiefs in order to win the league. Similarly to Pirates, he doesn't have to win against Pirates to win the league. But I guess everybody kind of expected that today's game was going to set the tone to what's going to happen essentially tomorrow, where is Chiefs going to be under pressure or what? But that's what we got today. But what are your parting shots, guys, to what we saw today?
For me, I don't think today's game was too much confidence going into the rest of the games for the season. You know, I expected the boys to have much more confidence going into this game, given that they already had a practice run on Saturday. And this is what I said on Saturday as well, to say that we have an advantage for today's game because we've sort of tested the waters a bit. But I was really disappointed in how we played. We played a very defensive game. I hope it gets better this season. And I hope as we head towards the end, we really play like we want to win the league. Because at this point, I'm not convinced that we want to.
Koks?
I always knew this was going to happen after this long break, because the worst time to watch Sundowns play is after a layoff. So preseason, any time after preseason, Sundowns is horrible. It's not at peak. Like Sundowns doesn't know how to start. We have to gather momentum and we have to play and we have to play games, and then after we gather momentum, so that's what we went through was sort of a preseason. If anything, it was longer than that because the break was 5 months, if I'm not wrong. Yes. So it was always going to happen. So winning the league now is really going to be tough. If we think that today was horrible, Friday we're playing against a team that's going to run at us, mark us for like 60-70 minutes until they make that one mistake, and then you remember what happened with the Nedbank Cup semi, with the quarterfinal. It
was very difficult.
They took us to the extra time. Yeah. So it's only going to get tough from here onwards. So we have to learn to win ugly. Unfortunately, let's not expect Sundowns to play pretty. It's not going to happen. It will probably happen game 6 after this start, but it's not going to happen anytime now. So let's just get these 1-0 smash and grabs, and that's it. That's how we're going to win the league. That's my thought on that.
Oh, well, I guess we'll end it here. Look, I think for our last thoughts on Saturday, where we kind of hope that games are going to be exciting leading up to when teams are fully fit, but it seems as though that by the time teams gather momentum, essentially the league will be over. But as neutrals, we hope that it's going to get exciting as we go along, not to what we just saw. Tonight wasn't really a great exhibition to what the PSL should be. But we understand as well that it's been 5 months, so they can't be perfect now. But we can only hope for the next fixtures. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'm saying, and at the same time, let's not get emotional because we haven't watched Kaiser Chiefs play. So we can be
But
here
now
and
we
be
have to
worried.
squeeze bums tomorrow so that they don't win and open up a gap.
Yeah, we might not even have to. Like, these guys, they just had one of their core players out. So who knows? Like, so let's relax. We didn't play all right, but we don't know how Kaiser Chiefs is gonna play. We know how we play and we know what we need to improve, but we don't know anything about Kaiser Chiefs. So let's relax. Let's watch Kaiser Chiefs play, and then after that, we can start to panic or we can start to worry. Let's form an opinion.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. You got it from Koks, you got it from Tlhologelo, and how they saw the game. Look, I'm not gonna say much. The game wasn't really as exciting as I anticipated to be. It was too much of a tactical game between the two coaches. Both of them trying to suss each other out. Both of them, I think, being cautious and nobody really taking the game on. I think maybe in the second half, Pirates controlled the second half. Sundowns controlled the first half, but essentially it wasn't an all-out game where you can say that that team deserved to win. So yeah, it was. It's definitely. I mean, considering to what we saw the past Saturday, there were goals there. The games weren't free flowing, but yet there were goals, and it was okay. And with this one, I guess we kind of expected, or on my side, I kind of expected Sundowns to be the one where they saw how they played on Saturday. Today, they're going to be more, they know what to do. And Pirates, or maybe the fact that the excitement of the game, that they couldn't really read much into what happened on Saturday. But I'm not impressed. It wasn't one of the best games. It was an average game, and we can only hope that the race to the league title will get hotter as we go along. Look, tomorrow is another day. Chiefs is playing against Vets. Hopefully that one is also exciting. We'll see. I hope you enjoyed this post. You know what to do. Get in your thoughts on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. And please don't also forget to subscribe, turn on the notification, comment below, even on Twitter, comment, Instagram, you know what to do. It's the Master Tactician fan, Koza Ivan. I'm signing out. Cheers.